Every AI guru has the same list. The 15 MCP servers you absolutely must install, copied from the same 3 blog posts by people who never ran a single one of them. So I did something nobody writing those lists bothers to do. I installed all 15 on this machine, gave every single one a real task, and made each of them earn a spot. A server passes its test, it stays. It fails, hangs, or asks me for a credit card, it gets uninstalled on the spot. By the end of the day, 9 of the 15 were gone. And 2 of the servers I deleted actually passed their tests. Stick around, because the reasons they still got cut will save you more tokens than anything else in this video. This is the whole experiment, receipts included. So you never have to install a random MCP server again. 30 seconds of context in case MCP is new to you. Model Context Protocol is basically USB-C for AI. One standard plug that lets Claude or any model connect to real tools. Your browser, your database, GitHub, your terminal. One command, Claude MCP add, and your AI suddenly has hands. That is also the problem. Every server you plug in eats a slice of your context window before you type a single word. Install everything the listicles tell you to, and you have paid a tax on every conversation forever. So every server on my bench faced the same 5 questions. Does it install and connect first try? Can it finish a real task without babysitting? Is it free to run? Is it actually maintained? And does it earn the context it costs? 15 servers, same machine, same rules. Let the eliminations begin. Test 1. Magic MCP from 21st Dev. 5.3 thousand stars. And every single listicle calls it the V0 killer that builds UI components inside your editor. I wired it up and asked for one simple button component. Then I watched my session sit there. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 full minutes of nothing until the process had to be killed. Zero output. And when I checked the repo, it explained itself. No commit since February, 5 months of silence. Plus, to actually generate anything, it wants an API key from their platform. Dead repo, hung session, key wall. That is strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3. Uninstalled. 14 to go, and the bar is officially on the floor. Test 2. Context 7 by Upstash. 58.6 thousand stars. More than any other standalone MCP server on GitHub. The pitch. It feeds your AI. The current documentation for any library, so it stops hallucinating APIs from 2023. My test. Pull the live Remotion docs and code them. 30 seconds later, it came back with the exact page and quoted the docs word for word. Frames are zero indexed, meaning the first frame is 0. That is a direct quote from the real documentation, fetched live, no API key, completely free. This is the server that fixes the single most annoying thing about AI coding. Confidently wrong answers about libraries that changed last month. Easiest keep of the day. One survivor on the board. Round 2, the web scrapers. And this pair tells you everything about how MCP lists lie to you. Test 3, Firecrawl. 6.8 thousand stars. I asked it to scrape one page. It refused, and I quote, "Your IP address looks suspicious. So Firecrawl can't be used without an API key from here. My home internet. Suspicious." What that error actually means is, this is a free trial for a paid product, and the trial is over before it starts. Uninstalled. Test 4. Exa search. Only 4.7 thousand stars, the smallest keeper on my bench. But their hosted server answered my web search in 17 seconds, with the top result being Anthropic's own MCP announcement. No key, no sign up, no credit card. It just worked. Firecrawl gone. Exa stays. Never trust the star count. Test 5. The official GitHub MCP server. 31.2 thousand stars. Built by GitHub themselves. I asked it for the exact star count of a repo plus the newest open issue. First try, it came back with 88,053 stars and an issue that had been opened that same morning. Live data, straight from the source. And because it is official, it connects through GitHub's own remote endpoint. There is not even a package to install locally. If any part of your work touches GitHub, issues, pull requests, code review, this is the one server that pays rent every single day. Keep 3 survivors. Test 6 and 7, the browser duel. Two giants that every list mentions in the same breath. Microsoft's Playwright MCP, 34.7 thousand stars, against Google's Chrome DevTools MCP, 45.8 thousand. I gave both the same job, open a live page, and read it back to me. Playwright, done in 29 seconds. Page title, first paragraph, straight from the DOM. Chrome DevTools, done in 22, and it threw in the network trace. One request, status 200. Here is my honest split. Playwright is the automation workhorse. Chrome DevTools is the debugger. It sees console errors and network requests, which is exactly what you want when your AI is fixing a broken website. Different jobs, both flawless, both free, both from companies that will maintain them forever. Both stay. 5 survivors. And that is the last easy call of the day. Quick pause because this next batch is where it gets brutal. Servers that pass their test and still get deleted. Most of you watching are not subscribed, and I run experiments like this on my own machine with real receipts every single week. Subscribing is free and takes 1 second. Do that and let us get back to the bench. Test 8 and 9, the app connectors. Notion's official server, 4.5 thousand stars. I connected it and asked to list my pages. 0 tools available. It exposes nothing at all until you complete an OAuth login. And that is when it hit me. Why am I doing this? Claude already ships a native Notion connector. One click in settings, no JSON, no server, no terminal. Same for Gmail, Slack, Drive, Calendar. Rule number 1 of this whole video, if Claude has a native connector for a tool, you do not need an MCP server for it. Uninstalled. Figma context. MCP. 15.3 thousand stars. Same story with a worse ending. Without a Figma API token, it is a brick. Nothing loads, nothing works. If you live in Figma, grab a token and revisit. I do not, so uninstalled. The bench is getting emptier. Test 10 and 11. And here is where passing stops being enough. GitMCP. 8.2 thousand stars turns any GitHub repo into a documentation server. I pointed it at Remotion's repo, and it worked perfectly. Quoted the docs right back at me. A clean pass, and I deleted it anyway. Because Context 7 already covers the same ground, with a bigger index, and every server you keep is a permanent tax on your context window. 2 tools, 1 job, the smaller one goes. Then Serena, 26.1 thousand stars, a semantic code toolkit people call a free cursor. On a small, clean project, honestly impressive. Then I pointed it at my real repo, 558 video folders of production mess. And the project scan died on one stale file path before it found a single symbol. It recovered on individual files. Credit where due. But Claude Code already ships code search that handles my mess without flinching. Uninstalled. That is the lesson of this entire video. The question is never does it work. It is, does it beat what you already have? Test 12. Desktop Commander. 6.2 thousand stars. It gives Claude a terminal and file access. I asked it to list a folder and it nailed it in 14 seconds. Fastest clean pass of the day. Uninstalled. I know. But think about it for 1 second. I am running this inside Claude Code, which is a terminal. Installing a terminal inside my terminal is a Russian doll of nothing. Here is the honest asterisk though. If you use Claude Desktop, the chat app, and you cannot or will not touch a command line, this exact server is your single biggest unlock. It turns chat into a computer. For Claude Code users, redundant. Test 13, Perplexity's official server. No API key, no tools, and the key is paid. Plus, Claude Code ships web search out of the box. Uninstalled, and we are down to 2 tests. Test 14, and this is the one that genuinely hurt. Blender MCP, 23.5 thousand stars. The demos are absurd. Claude building entire 3D scenes from a sentence. I even have Blender installed on this Mac, so I was ready to be amazed. The server connected fine, and then could not connect to Blender. Make sure the Blender add-on is running. So the real setup is install the server, then install a separate add-on inside Blender. Then keep a socket connection alive between them while you work. I am not doing 3D this week, and a server that needs a babysitter does not stay on my bench. But I will say this on the record. The day I need 3D assets, this is the first thing I reinstall. Uninstalled with respect. One test left and one keeper slot open. The final test. N8NMCP. 22.1 thousand stars. This one connects Claude to N8N, the automation platform, and it ships with a full local database of every N8N node. My test, find the webhook node and tell me how it works. 27 seconds later, exact node name, current version, configuration options, all pulled from its bundled database. No cloud, no key, no account. Why this matters? N8N is how non-coders build real automations, the kind that watch an inbox, enrich a lead, update a sheet. And this server means you can describe an automation in plain English and have Claude assemble the actual workflow. It is the one keeper on this list that is not for developers. Keep. And that is 15 tests done, 6 survivors, 9 uninstalled. So here is the stack that survived a full day on the bench. Context 7. So your AI reads current docs instead of hallucinating old ones. Exa, free live web search. The official GitHub server, your entire GitHub workflow without leaving the conversation. Playwright to drive the browser, Chrome DevTools to debug it. And N8 and MCP, which turns plain English into real automations. 6 servers, 0 API keys, $0. Notice what is not there. No scrapers behind paywalls, no abandoned repos, no duplicate tools taxing the context window. Install all 6 in about 2 minutes. It is one Claude MCP add command each, and I put every exact command in the free PDF. I will mention in a second. But before you go, install anything. There is one thing you need to see first, because this part, nobody on those listicles ever mentions. In April, security researchers at OX Security published something ugly. A command injection problem in the MCP software kit itself, across Python, TypeScript, Java, and Rust. Here is the plain English version. When you add an MCP server, your config file has a command field, and whatever is in that field runs on your machine, period. It does not matter if the server it claims to start is fake, broken, or malicious. The command still executes. The affected kits sit under an estimated 150 million downloads. And Anthropic's official position is that checking what goes in that field is your job, not the protocols. So here are my 3 rules. 1. Never paste an MCP config from a random gist, a comment section, or a listicle. That JSON is literally remote code execution with your name on it. 2. Actually read the command field before you add anything. If you cannot tell what it runs, do not run it. 3. Prefer servers from vendors with something to lose. GitHub, Microsoft, Google, official company orgs. Every keeper on my list follows that rule. 6 great servers is a stack, 16 random ones is an attack surface. Everything from today is packed into a free PDF, the MCP field manual. The 6 survivors with the exact install command for each one. Copy paste ready. The full elimination table for all 15. So you know exactly why each one lived or died. The 3 security rules. And my 5 question test. So you can put any future server on trial yourself. Because next month there will be 50 new ones. Comment the word MCP on this video and I will send it to you. And if you are just getting started with this stuff, I also have 4 beginner guides for people who want the full path. The beginner's guide to Claude Code, the OpenAI Codex guide, Claude for sales, and the Claude Certified Architect Prep Kit. All linked below. Then 3 quick things. Subscribe here on YouTube. I test this stuff on my own machine every week, so you do not waste yours. Follow Hyperautomation Labs on Instagram and follow the Facebook page. Quick tip, this video plays great at 1.25 speed. Comment MCP, and I will see you in the next one.